Okay, so we're on What's on the Shelf Part 6. So we're going to be in the 6th cubby. And in this one, we have Dice City, Orleans, Amun-Re, and then Keyflower. So the first one here is Dice City. This one's a bit of a table hog, but it's kind of a neat one. Everybody gets their player board. That's a fairly big player board. And you get different dice. Then depending on the color of the dice and what you roll on it, which action's activated. So if you roll on the white dice, number 6, then you're going to go along the white column down to 6, and then that's what you're doing. As you play and go along, you're able to buy more cards, kind of upgrade your different actions that you can do. So maybe you want to do the red row to be all military actions. And then, so you can kind of, because you're going to roll a red every time, right? So you can kind of control a little bit what you're going to roll. So this one is kind of neat. So you collect resources depending on where you roll, of course. And then with those resources, you can purchase new cards to upgrade your board so that you can do better actions, more powerful actions. You can, with the military, either attack the other players or attack the cards in the middle, and then whoever has the most points at the end of the game is the winner. So this is a picture of the game when we were playing it, and as you can see, like, those boards are fairly big. It takes quite a bit of table space, but otherwise it's a neat one. I enjoyed that one. Then I have Orleans. I bought this one a little while ago, and then secondhand from a friend, and realized that I was missing some of the tokens, so it took a while to kind of get the rest. So I haven't actually played my own copy. I have played this game once at FallCon, so it's not very fresh in there with me. What's neat with this one, it is a bag builder. So you collect different workers that are going to be able to do different actions, and they all go in a bag. So you pull out, see what the workers you got, and you can kind of start assigning them to different actions you want to do. Most of them will require two workers to complete the action, maybe more. So if you know you're going to need a white worker and a black worker, you can assign the white worker, then you're waiting for the black to come out. There's a lot going on with this game. It's a really neat one. I'm not explaining it really well just because it's been so long since I've played it. So I really got to get my copy played. But I've got all the components I need now, so I can do that. The other one that I have on that shelf is Amun-Re. Amun-Re is an older game, but it's a neat one. The bidding mechanic in there is kind of part of the most interesting part. It plays in 2 sections. So in the first section, each player will bid on different, provinces in Egypt. And depending on what you end up doing, what you can do at that location, or the benefits that it'll give you. So that's where you kind of try to control what you want to get by bidding. So you can put your token on the different position of where you want to bid, whether you want to bid 0, whether you want to bid 1 or more. You could go and automatically bid higher, trying to deter other people to outbid you if you wanted to. If somebody does outbid you, you have to move your token and go and bid on a different province. Then if you get outbid there, then you could come back to the first province or a different province as well. The bidding continues until everybody's ends up with 1 province each. And then you go along with the rest of the game. And then after the first portion, where you're gonna, get some farmers, plant fields, or build pyramids, collect resources, and then at the end of the turns, you make a donation to the gods, and then depending on what you donate, how much you're going to be blessed and get extra actions and different things like that. So it's a neat game. And then you go into the second portion. So everything is wiped out as far as the farmers, but the pyramid stays. And then you bid on those provinces again. So some of them now have pyramids. So the one that you had doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be yours. So you do the bidding process again, and then you keep going with building more of the pyramids, getting some farmers to grow the resources, get your, I guess your, I don't know, economic going in your little province there. And then you score points all along the board as well. I've enjoyed this one. One thing I've noticed with it, though, is if somebody gets a big lead right away, you see that right away. There's no catch-up mechanic per se. There's no, like kind of hidden scoring at the end. So it can be demoralizing if you see that you're so far behind. This one actually is no longer in my collection. I donated this to the Volcon Library since I've taken the picture. But let me show you some of the components of how it looks. So those are the cards. So yeah, you have cards that kind of play along with them. You can see the pyramid. I'll show you those a little bit closer here and see. The pyramids are really neat. I'm not sure what they're made of. And then you can actually also get I guess stones to build towards the pyramids, and those looks like little chiclets almost. It's kind of has that shape and size. It's not the color; they're all orange, but it's the components were really neat with it. The board is neat looking as well, and this was one that I enjoy. Wish there was a bit of a better catch-up mechanic on this one. The next game I have on this cubby is Keyflower. Actually, we ended up playing Keyflower just yesterday here. So Keyflower is another bidding game, and it's kind of, you bid on different tiles and that you're going to add to your village, and everybody gets like a little cardboard house that you keep everything that you have behind it hidden. The interesting thing with it is at the start of the game, everybody draws 8 meeples. So in the bag there are blue meeples, yellow meeples, and red meeples. So you kind of put them into your little house so nobody sees what you get. And then when you start, it plays over 4 seasons. So you start in the spring, you bring out the spring tiles that everybody's going to start bidding on. And depending on where you're sitting, the side of that tile that is facing you, that's where you would put your meeple to show that you're the one bidding on that particular tile. So if I put a yellow meeple on a tile to show that I'm bidding on it, if somebody wants to outbid that for me for that tile, they now have to use yellow meeples because that tile is now assigned the color yellow. So somebody could bid 2 yellow meeples and then I would be outbid. So when my turn comes around, I could grab my 1 meeple and move it on a different tile. And then if somebody wants to outbid those 2 meeples, they would have to put 3 yellow meeples to outbid that one. The player that has those 2 meeples that got outbid can move those 2 meeples to do another action on another tile or bid on another tile, but they have to stay together. You got to keep those 2 on the same tile going forward. The interesting things with this one as well is you do not have to wait to own the tile to utilize it. So while everybody's bidding on it, say, well, while you guys are fighting over it, I'm going to put a yellow meeple onto the tile and collect that resource or do that action. So that's kind of a neat where you can do the action as you're bidding. When you get the tiles afterwards, you build your village, and then you you can actually use the tiles on other people's village as well. It's a really neat game. It plays a little long. Mostly if you get players that have a lot of analysis paralysis, it can slow down things a little bit. This is just close up on what the tiles are looking like. And then you see the meeples. So you have the blue meeples on the one, the yellow meeples on the other. And that's it for that cubby. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, my page is Didsbury Areas Playing All the Games. Or on Instagram, it's boardgame_mama. Great, thanks. You guys have a good day.